Hey everybody, it's your man Tyke coming to you with another true Spook story. Now before I begin, I'm gonna ask that you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share me with your friends and family. If you think it's not robbery, I'll go ahead and share me. But I want to let you guys know the remainder of the story is gonna be on my Patreon channel. I'm moving all my stories to Patreon. That way I could be a little bit more raw with them, more in depth, and you can get the full effect of it because certain things you can't say over here on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. But without further ado, let's get into the conclusion of Witness the Deal. Now, as you guys know from the last one, me and Grandma done fell out. I'm pissed off. I'm upset. Because during that past life regression, when those druids were removing all of that stuff out of me, breaking the deal with Dumbala that my grandma and Grandma Dill made on my mama's stomach for one of my mama's children, which happened to turn out to be me, one of the more sensitive out of my mama's five children, sorry. So it came down to be me, and then I was in my feelings. Like, man, how can they do this to my mama? How can they do this to me? Well, I was in my feelings, so I started talking to Grandma for a while. So while I had started talking to Grandmama, I'm denouncing everything Grandma ever taught me. I'm mad. I ain't practicing no type of magic. I got my Christian Bible in my hand. I'm not messing with the Druids, and I didn't speak Celtic language or anything like that. So I didn't want to deal with them no more. I had quit the job I was working at, so I didn't, wasn't gonna never see the bitch Brandy no more. So I was just at a low point in my life about a year and a half. And during that time, I'm at a low point in my life. I'm catching pretty hell from my baby mama. It goes to the old saying: when you remove anything out your life, anything that was an anchor, and you leave a void in your life, trouble comes in before the good stuff come in. When that wind rush in, it ain't coming there to blow nothing away. It's coming in there to fill the void and shake you up, like giving a sinus headache. That's all I can describe it as. But so now I got a void in my life. I'm not dealing with grandmama. That was my backbone. I'm not dealing with no religious energy. I'm not doing no magic. I ain't got my little rock or die energy with me. It's just me out there alone. I was walking around Orlando and everything. Well, I wasn't walking, but I had a car. I was going around Orlando, a pop, good Kissimmee, hanging out with different friends' house. But I was like a little zombie. It was like there was nothing in me that was living. I mean, for like a year and a half, 2 years. My auntie took a picture of me. Uh, to this day, she showed it to me, and I ain't tell her this is why. That picture of me looked so bad and empty, and I was at my lowest, even though I was dressing good and smelling good. It just I was a hollow man. I was empty because they had took the only thing that was keeping me alive. Now let me tell you something. During that time, I wasn't talking to grandmama, and I wasn't dealing with my mama, my family, and I wasn't doing nothing spiritual. Man, I was going through purity hell. Baby mama fights, getting arrested for something I didn't do, police pulling me over, charges almost getting brought up on me for something I ain't got nothing to do with. It's like my life went straight to hell. So when my life is going straight to hell and I'm trying to avoid grandmama and everybody else, I said, damn, I can't take this no more. So when I said I can't take this no more, I found myself walking around like Michigan and Bumby. I had a car, but I would park my car at the Cumberland Farms gas station on Bumby, right in the T.G. Lee Milk District. And I would walk, under the overpass, and I just walk. I cross over South Street walking, and I just walk in the neighborhood, and there would be a big ass cemetery to your left hand side if you walk good enough, or you make a right, but you get in through the back way. Walk that way, man, and I just find myself parking the car on a weekly basis and just walking to that cemetery. When I would walk to the cemetery, I just find a headstone or a raised grave, and I just lay on it, right? And I just lay on it and I just like take a nap laying on the cemetery gravestone or some shit, the one that was elevated off the ground. I ain't lay on the dirt or nothing. So all of a sudden, I'm chilling out over there, and the cemetery groundskeeper, his name was Mr. Nadiri. So the cemetery groundskeeper by the name of Mr. Nadiri, he comes over there. He said, "Boy, get your ass up off that goddamn slab." I say, "Sir?" He said, "Boy, what the fuck you doing out here?" He cursing me like a dog, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, "Hey, hold up, boy, you don't know what you dealing with." Like, what you around here living amongst the dead for? I see you so many times. I be meaning to come over here and get on you, but I be still having to tend to my business. So what you doing? What got you so messed up that you need to come out here and feel the only time you can rest and be alive is in the dead? You dead? And I say, "No, sir, I ain't dead." I say, "You wouldn't believe me if I told you." He said, "Well, try me." I said, "Yes, sir." He, pulled me over there to his golf cart, and he drove me by you know how the cemetery they have rows in them when they real big. So he drove me about 3 rows over, and we sat down on a little park bench in the cemetery, and he had, some Gatorade in his little jug, and, he put some Gatorade in a cup, handed it to me. "Drink this." He said, "Drink it slow now, don't gulp it down." I said, "Yes, sir." So I told him, in detail much as I could about how, me and grandma used to go around town doing this and doing that. He said, "Oh, she a root woman." He said, "I know her." He said, "I heard of her." "Yeah." I said, "Yeah, I heard of her. She all right. She come see me sometime." I said, "Oh, so now I'm thinking I'm in trouble, I'm like, I ain't mean to talk bad about grandma." He said, "Boy, talk to me." He said, "I'm talking to you. I ain't talking to her." I said, "Yes, sir." And so, I told him, what happened, about the Druids and the pagans and what I seen and everything and what they did to me. And I got tears in my eyes because I told him I feel betrayed. I said, because I shouldn't have had to have my soul transferred or given up, before I was born and all that stuff. And he talked to me a little bit, people, and listen to me good. If y'all don't get nothing from this story right here, other than this gem right here, please understand what I'm saying. He say, "Let me tell you something, son." He say, "I've been working in this cemetery for over 30 years." He said, "One thing I know about the dead, or the people who coming into this world and the people who leave this world." He didn't say the dead. "One thing I know about the people who come into this world and the people who leave this world, you are responsible for your own soul." He said, "You can't sell it, you can't give it, you can't trade it, you can't nothing." He said, "No matter the work that your mama and your grandmama and your great granny did on your stomach, on your mama's stomach, ain't nothing in the world could have had that voodoo lore with your soul." Now, he said, "What it did do is it trapped your will." He said, "That's a whole entire different story altogether." He said, "You got time?" I said, "Where else I'm gonna go?" He said, "Okay, follow me." So I get with him and I walk around, with Mr. Nadir. Mr. Nadir, I'm helping him, lay grass. I'm helping him water. I'm helping him put down the casket. I'm helping him shovel and trim the hedges. He got a whole 8-hour day work out of me, but I didn't mind because this was the first time, I'm getting some real insight because I was hurt, people. I was in a damaged state of mind. So he was like, "Well, it's all about your will, man." He said, "When you come in and people do spell work over pregnant women's stomachs and all that stuff there, then they do work while somebody dying in the bed." He said they trying to make sure they will is strong enough to not go into the light, or in your case, get born into the light. See, that's the thing. He said, so what your granny and them did, they wasn't trying to sell your soul to Damballa. He said they were just trying to get Damballa to see who you were so that he may be able to use you in his own specific way. He said your parents do it with the Christians. He said the Catholics do it. He said the Catholics take the baby, brand new, fresh newborn, pour water on the baby. They bless the baby. Say they kiss the baby all in the lips, sprinkle water on. Say they call it giving it back to God. See, your grandma just practiced a Haitian voodoo version of that, giving you back to God. The God that she was serving at the time was Damballa. That's your great grandma. I say, oh. So she says, consider it's like a christening. So I wonder, they say she just did elaborate ritual with it, with the chicken and all that stuff. That's what they showed in the vision. I say, so why, when it came time to make the deal with him, I was in this bad state, and the Druid pagan woman was sitting up there, fighting with him, and he was making a deal, negotiating with him, and all this stuff. He said, because, listen to me, he said, what the hell would a white man or a white woman want with a black man having that much power? Having one man on this planet having the pure, unadulterated link to Damballa, God, the head man of the, having that power to control the dead, to control secrets, to control spirits. See, he said, the ones you should be mad at is the Druids, because they was the one that targeted you. So your grandmama and them just were doing what they knew best to make sure you bring light into the world. Make sure you had a powerful ally with Damballa. He said, them Druids is the one that did you a disservice by removing them. So now I'm sitting up here like, you okay, man? Now you tripping. It's a bad thing. I heard this man cursing that old lady. Y'all, them Druids were pretty nice to me. They gave me a robe. They gave me some stones. They gave me some juice. Said I seen them take demons out of everybody that came to him. And he said, let me ask you a question. I said, yes, sir. He said, everybody who went to them Druids, who you saw, he said, was any of them white that they was casting these demons out of? I say, no, sir. He said, all of them had some kind of color. I bet you. I said, yes, sir. I said, it was kind of like a French girl, but she had some tone to her. I said, then the other girl, Brandy, she was like a Hispanic, but mixed white, something like that. But, she still had some tone to her. He said, and then it was you. He said, tell me again what demon came out, the little French girl. I said, well, that was a sex demon. Like, I say, to the point where I saw all of the pussy up. He said, what came out the other girl, Brandy, you say? I said, yes, sir. He said, what came out her? I said, it was a gluttonous demon and a sex demon too. He said, let me ask you something. I said, yes, sir. He said, since Damballa had been moved from you 6-7 months ago, however long, he said, have you had the desire to have sex? I said, no, sir. I said, it's been quite a while. I said, since I, decided to lay on a bitch's stomach. He said, do you see the principle what's going on here, son? I say, I don't, sir. He said, let me break it down to you. The first thing you witnessed was a sex demon being pulled out of somebody. He said the second thing you witnessed was an appetite demon that had a sex energy attached to it. Then you get Damballa pulled from you, which is symbolic of a snake, the human phallus, the male phallus, controls all, birth all, gives life. Say what it is, them people was robbing you of your nature, whether you know it or not. And I say, what? So people, let me stop the presses right there. So now I'm thinking these Druids was all loving and doing good and shit, I'm thinking they on the one. So, but then the old man, he breaking it down to me. So, and I'm like, this kind of making sense to me. Because after the ceremony, I ain't want to screw nothing, man. I was nice to my baby mama and them. I'm sitting up there. Listen, it was a dry spell. I couldn't walk out the door. My penis won't get hard for nothing in the world. It was like I'm sitting up there trying to jack the bitch off, and the bitch just was as flaccid as a goddamn belt. So I'm like, I don't know. Hold on, languid. I'll use a big ass word for you. It was languid. Well, I'm like, good Jesus. So he was like, so let me do something for you, son. He said, follow me. I said, yes, sir. He said, I don't know how to do the ritual to get you back in contact with Damballa. He said, them days passed. If I'm not mistaken, you lost somebody. Somebody passed away close to you, whether you know it or not. That's when I found out that, my daughter had a twin that didn't make it. That's another story. So, he was saying, he said, but I want you to come with me. So I followed him to the back shed of the cemetery to where he's at, to, the way he worked. It was like his own little cemetery shop thing over there. So I followed him there to him. So when I walked in, this man had over like 50, 60 skulls just sitting around. So when he had the 50, 60 skulls sitting around, he say, sit here in this chair. And he lit a candle on top of the skull. And all right, he said he lit a candle on top of 3 of them. He said, now what I want you to do, he said, I'm finna leave you in here. He said, every time you feel like coming to this cemetery, you just come on here to the shed, the door never locked. They just come on to the shed, light that candle, you sit amongst these skulls. He say eventually you're gonna start hearing them talk and you're gonna hear them move. You're gonna see them come to life and you're gonna see their body generate. He said, but don't run. He said, what I can do is put you back in contact with the dead because you was always meant to be in contact with the spirit world. Then he called me by my real name, not my nickname. He didn't call me by type. He called me by my real name. I said, oh. He said, you understand now? And he said it again. Then he called me by my full government name, all 4 names in a row. Lit the candle, people. Stepped back out the door with the shovel in his hand. I watched him leave. He just closed the door behind me, told me to sit. And he said, sit! From out the door, I heard his voice. Back down and I'm looking at the skull burn. Like, whoa, I'm looking in the eyes of the skull. I'm terrified, y'all, because I ain't never been up and close to this type of energy before. So, the first time I ain't seen nothing. About 3 days later, came back, I seen him, I waved at him, because I parked my car at the Cumberland Farm, and I would walk. And so that walk is about a good 25, 30-minute walk, because you do it slow. I go in the cemetery, I wave at him. He throw his head up with it, and he always had the shovel in his hand. He throw his head up and he, wave the shovel at me. I let him know I'm going in there. I bring my little matches and I light the candle on top of the skull and I sit there. So one day I'm in there sitting down, people, and next thing you know, the skull start moving its mouth. And I said, oh, I'm probably dreaming, hallucinating. If this shit gets scary, people, and it just get real scary right about now. So the skull, I'm looking at the skull and it started moving its mouth. And while it's moving its mouth, I'm trying to hear what it's saying. It's trying to talk to me. It's saying some stuff to me, right? And while it's saying some stuff to me, I'm